Hello, Nate. You know, there might be a book inside the book.
Wait, how? How is this possible?
Well, you know, there might be several books in one book.
How? I don't understand.
Well, I have a friend that I can share with you.
You want to know? We can help you with that.
Hello, Aidana.
Hello, Yurkijan.
Oh my god, I can't. This book, I can't even sleep without it.
Agree with you. It is so intriguing.
Right, and we're just on the first chapter. What do you think about it so far?
Actually, I really like it. I like how the first lines are easygoing and intriguing because it catches from the first lines.
Right. It's so true. Let's start from the first part. It says it's chapter 1, but it starts talking to us, to readers. And we are not introduced to any characters yet. It starts with you are about to begin, and then the author starts talking to us.
Yes. Actually, when I read the word relax, I really relaxed because it delves you into the book and you feel like, oh my god, something cool is waiting for me. And then I concentrated on the book fully and then decided to read the instructions that it tells me, because he mentions about the comfortable place, positions, and something, and he prepares me for the interest in reading, and I'm excited and I can feel all the emotions that he wants me to feel. So what about you?
Agree, the same. But I thought that the introductory part will end in the first page, but it doesn't end. It goes on in the next page, and the author continues talking to us. And I even didn't notice how I started doing things that he told us to do, like watch out, you are kind of touching someone else in the bus, or like. Before starting, you have to be really comfortable so you will not be interrupted.
Agree with you. I could totally relate to this some parts of the intro when he says about, for example, books you've never you've been planning to read for ages, for example. It is so relatable for me because and he says about books you've been hunting for years, books dealing with something you are working on, and I was like, oh my god, that's so true, that's about me, and that made me follow the book more and more. That was so easy to read for me. I can't express even how I was impressed with this style of writing and storytelling. And then in this chapter, when he mentions about the bookstore, when you are curious to find a new book of Italo Calvino, I felt déjà vu because it's so relatable again. And he mentions that it is special pleasure to have a new book, a new edition, and I totally agree with this statement because you are really impatient, and he mentions the problems we can struggle with, and this is also fascinating because he says perhaps you started leafing through the book already in shop, for example, and that makes me so curious during the reading. And he gives us examples like you are at the wheel of your car waiting at the traffic light, you take the book out of the bag, rip off the transparent wrapping and start reading the first lines, and this causes a traffic jam. And this is that is so relatable, I guess. He says about the wrapping of the book that you want to take off, and this is that makes me curious and gives a lot of emotions also. So by giving these emotions and examples for us, he makes us impatient and curious too. So
Yes, but he doesn't start it yet. He just gets us prepared. He tries to make us engaged, and we are engaged. And at some point, we are not bored yet, but we are just about to finish the book and don't continue it when he finally starts it, right? And but weirdly, it starts with another title. Yes, you open it up and you see Eve on a Winter's Night, a Traveler, and it's exactly the name of the book. And I asked myself, so what I was reading? So was it a different thing?
I was confused too, actually. Then it starts with railway station, and the name of the station is unknown, and the place is unknown, and the settings are absolutely misunderstandable. So that gave me some kind of beginning again. Yes.
But you know what? I really like this parts because here we kind of get closer to the book because it's not the author talking to us, but we assume that it's the character talking to us. That's why it becomes so interesting.
Another thing about these chapters, first and second, are that the storytelling of them is really fascinating because it is again catchy and drives us into this new world with a new rail station and locomotives and so on. So while reading this second part of the first chapter, it is what did you feel? What was another and how the things changed?
Once the If on a Winter's Night a Traveler started, I felt like I'm in the station because everything seemed so real. He is describing things, he's talking about the train, it's the evening, it's almost the night, and you can feel all of these feelings, and it's like no one is there. He's not describing people, he's describing the darkness and fog. He also say that it's the order of stations after the last train has left. So I think author deliberately added these things that makes it so real. So you just read it and you go into it, like into the book. And the second thing I noticed is he's like the character is talking to us. He's saying I. So he deliberately writes I several times, even in one paragraph, saying I am the man, and you know nothing else about him. I hung up and up the receiver. I wait the rattling flash. So you are talking to the character.
Yes, that is really special. What I noticed is that is this shift from I to again you. Agree with you. And what I noticed about this chapter is that is a shift from I to you and you to I. Again, you are from the perspective, you feel the things from the perspective of the reader and from this protagonist simultaneously, and that is crazy because he says, "You reader believe that there on the platform my gaze was blurred," and actually yes, I think like yes, his gaze could be really good, and then he again starts. I should have found the contact and continues his storytelling. That was really. I noticed that it was something special about this book. So, yeah.
Right. And then we straight notice that it's about a man. And the man is not a simple man, but he seems to be one and only there. He's alone with a baggage, with a suitcase. And suitcase is presented as something, as an element, as a very special item. Did you feel it when you read the word suitcase?
Actually, yes, there was something about it. He says, like, I was to meet someone in this station, but he doesn't mention who and why, and the accent is made on the suitcase. So, yeah,
Right? He can say, I'm afraid of losing it. Suitcase. Or because I can't wait to be rid of it, it's not clear. What seems certain is that it isn't just ordinary baggage, something I can check or pretend to forget in the waiting room.
He said that he was going to give it to someone, and who he is supposed to give it? Like, what is the situation? If he is alone with some strange suitcase, what is going to happen next?
Yes, and then the cafe is mentioned. Cafe is there, so we see it's a train station, it's very dark, and it's cafe. And we assume that there are people inside, and there really are. Apparently, it was the times when train stations were the place when people could communicate, when people could see each other. So, what are the characters there? Who they are?
A man, and then men, women, and some other man. Some other man with the same suitcase was mentioned. The cafe was full of different people. They were laughing and talking, and there was some atmosphere. Then he mentions Madame Marne, Mr. Dr. Marne, and Chef Gorin. So,
And this Madame Marne and Dr. Marne are the ex-partners, right? Ex-wife and ex-husband. And it's said that it's Madame Marne's shop there, and she's in this cafe, and her husband comes to this cafe every night to just see her. And the character even describes us the tension between these two. He says by looking at their watery eyes when they see each other, you can say that it's not over between them.
yes, he mentions that he starts to tell about her and takes our attention fully for her. Says about her female nature, something like her feminine presence, and his impressed us with her. That is what I noticed.
Right. Yes, and then he talks to her. Did he talk to her, or was it his imagination?
I guess it could be imagination, but
Yes. Because he asks something and he gives an answer. He asks something, he gives an answer, and you can't even say who's talking.
agree with you. He says about the man in the bar, the chief, late tonight. I wonder why. And
Right, and then Dr. Marner leaves the pinball machine and approaches the bar. So it's the story about the bar. And then there is a stirring of gaiety and intimacy of slaps on the back, which surrounds Dr. Marne, a business of old jokes and teasing. And then the interesting part arrives. Someone approaches him, the man, and he says what? He says they've killed Jan, clear out. And he says, the suitcase, take it away again. We want nothing to do with it now. Catch the 11 o'clock express. But it doesn't stop here. It will. Go to track 6, opposite the freight station. You have 3 minutes. But move, or I'll have to arrest you. That's it. That's how it ends.
yes, that was unexpected for me. And where are the answers?
What do you think were the answers?
What's happening next?